In today's global economy, quality matters. Benjamin Franklin once quipped, "The bitterness of poor quality remains long after the sweetness of low price is forgotten." Quality Matters is here to talk about all things quality. So whether you're looking to improve your business, getting ready for an audit, or dealing with failed inspections, tune in, check us out, then get back to doing work that matters.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Quality Matters. I'm Darcy.
I'm Kyle.
We discuss all things quality, so this one is a super fun one. We had the opportunity to go to Villain Arts Tattoo Convention here in Houston. We asked for press passes and they gave us some.
It was cool.
It was very cool. So on this episode, you're going to hear interviews with 3 different people. Learned a lot, learned how quality impacts the tattoo world.
It really does. I think this is just excellent evidence of how truly important and vital not just quality, but quality principles, procedures, and management is no matter where you go.
Yeah, we learned information about the tattoo ink. It has expiration dates, so eye-opening. We learned a lot. Of course, Kyle always likes to learn a lot about everything. One thing Kyle did want to mention, it was interesting when we went to the convention, we just first kind of did a lap around all the booths.
Yep.
And then we decided we're going to talk to these people. And so we walked up, and luckily the first 3 people we chose to talk to said, sure, and gave us great interviews, which you're going to hear. And then they recommended we talk to some ink suppliers.
Yeah.
Which is the one you will not hear on our episode. Because
we tried.
When we went to talk to them, they were shy.
I would not have guessed, tattoo artists and people, and just didn't strike me as a shy group of people.
But I guess, these guys weren't actually the artists. They're product suppliers. So, we went up to 2 different suppliers and said, hey, would you want to do it? And they, oh, no, I don't really like to talk on the microphone. And I told Kyle I was real thankful that it went the other way around and we were able to get 3 good interviews before we were told no.
Yeah, agreed. We would have just bailed. But it worked out great. It was a lot of fun. And I think everyone's going to really be interested to hear how much quality really matters in an industry that maybe you wouldn't consider it.
Right. So listen in. Jordy. Oh, he was just kidding.
Oh, like
Okay, so now we're here with Jordy with FYT after a little technical difficulties.
Oh.
He is a tattoo artist, correct?
Yes.
All right. So we want to just ask you a few questions about quality in your profession.
All right, awesome.
So if I, as an average consumer, walk into a tattoo shop, how do I know it's a quality tattoo shop?
By checking the references and the actual tattoos, like portfolios. If they don't have a portfolio, you shouldn't get tattooed over there.
Okay. Is there anything within the shop that I should look at, like as far as I think cleanliness is where all people go.
Number one, but if they have a license, they're more likely going to be clean. But just cleanliness and checking how they hold their standards and how everything is applied in there.
How everything is applied. So you'll have to explain that to me. What does that mean?
All right. Pretty much, I'm just talking about how they put on the stencil. You can notice and watch them, making sure they're wearing gloves all the time because they might be licensed, but then they might not practice safety procedures, and that's something very important in the industry.
I think that's exactly what we talk about. Yeah, is that they have them all in place, but they don't necessarily follow them. So it's awesome that you said that.
Yeah.
How do you decide where to get your tools and equipment and ink from? Like that's a supplier, right? Exactly. Suppliers are a big part of quality. So how do you decide on that?
I usually look for companies that have been around the industry, especially with FYT. They have a really good standing with the community. They also have a lot of really quality products that fit with everything, and all their medical supplies, everything is up to standard with the.
Okay, so FYT sells the supplies.
Yes.
Okay. So you kind of want to look and see how long they've been around. Is there anything in the ingredients, or is there anything else we can look at as far as beyond how long they've been around?
Well, it's you gotta just make sure that their inks are all up to standards because they usually have FDA approved.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay. So
that's
you want to make sure there are lots because there actually was a recall with some inks recently. So they did. Yeah, so they recalled a couple lots for like a certain type of ink, so you just want to make sure you keep up with any recalls. And anything like there's usually dated on the inks. You want to make sure that they're within the dates and they're not about to expire pretty soon. And that's another thing you can look when you look into a tattoo shop. Make sure that they have up to date like equipment, like inks and stuff.
So are they going to look at me crazy if I walk in and say, "Hey, can I check that ink and make sure it's not expired?"
Well, I mean they might, but I mean that's your right to do it.
I guess so. Yeah.
Learn something every day.
Okay. One more question: how do you keep the equipment clean for each new customer?
Oh, most of like my needles and tubes are all disposable, so they're one-use items. I rarely use anything that needs to be autoclaved. I keep everything in like safe packaging and everything, so I make sure there's no cross-contamination. Anytime I grab any of my supplies, I make sure I wear gloves, and I follow the procedures that are applied every day.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, so we are again here at the Villain Arts Tattoo Convention, and I am talking with
Dr. Potter with Dr. Potter Tattooing Instruments.
All right, and
Aaron Williams with TACCOM.
okay, and so what y'all are doing is a little different from what most of the vendors out here have. Y'all have the actual machines, power supplies, all of the hardware that makes it possible. So what's the difference in all the hardware? Because I assume there's competition. What differentiates you?
As far as the tattoo machines?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a lot of manufacturers, they put out mass production machines and what have you, they get their parts outsourced through a machinist or a manufacturer, what have you, where the machines that I build, they're all handcrafted, quality control by me.
Okay.
And, I was taught by some of the old masters and stuff, so kind of back to the old school roots where, I apprenticed under somebody that was a machine builder and then worked with other builders throughout the country and the world.
Okay, very cool, very cool. So do you have like a standard designs or schematics that you build these from? How do you...
No, I mean, you're going to have certain machines built for certain things. So, we build rotaries and coil machines specific to what the artist wants or what have you.
All right, and then you supply the power supplies, correct?
Yes, we have a new power supply called the Electronic Speed Control, the ESCX, and we've written some algorithms and developed some proprietary software to help improve the consistency and performance of the rotary tattoo machines.
Oh, really? Now, between the two of you, how much do y'all have to work together to get this all to work properly, or is it kind of plug and play?
Well, we're separate entities and stuff, but we both seen what each other was doing and kind of joined forces, Okay. He had a power supply that was more innovative than any power supply I've seen or used. And me being a builder was able to see what he was doing and was like, hey, I see what you're doing. He sees what I do. And we were like, hey, let's kind of combine forces here and we both help each other.
Yeah, very cool. So what are some of the differences that make this so much better than someone else's?
On his power supply? Yeah, those are going to be questions he's going to answer.
Yeah, so what makes yours so much better from someone else's?
Well, like I said, we have the proprietary algorithms and software we've developed, and basically we run a calibration on your machine, and that calibration allows our power supply to learn the details about your machine, like its jump start voltage and when it's going to stall, and allows us to predict what the machine's going to do and basically drive it a lot more consistently than just using a standard fixed DC voltage like your regular power supplies do.
Now, that's fascinating. I never would have imagined.
We also incorporated Bluetooth. We have voice control and some other touchless features for reducing cross-contamination risks.
Yep.
The whole unit is completely sealed to prevent any intrusion of any contamination inside of it.
Fascinating. Very fascinating. I would have had no idea, but I love the Bluetooth integration there. So tell me a little bit more about the machines here. You talked about some of the differences between artists. What would one artist want that another one might not want?
Well, I mean, you're going to have artists that are, they're just particular in what they do, so a lot of guys, they're true to coils and, that's just what they want. You've got a lot of the younger generation and other people that maybe just, they rotate towards the coil machines just because of, it's a lot less maintenance, it's a little easier to work with and stuff like that. So But, like I said, a lot of what we do, and especially like what I do is, I try to make things that are different, or, look for old antique parts and things like that. So it's more of an art form than just giving you a tool.
Sure. No, awesome. I appreciate it. Do you have any questions, Darci?
I was wondering, on your power supply, you mentioned that it's calibrated. So does that have to be checked every so often, or once it's theirs, it's theirs?
Yeah, our power supply will store 3 machines in memory. So basically, you calibrate it using our special calibration cartridge and a sensor that actually is underneath the faceplate. And it's when you set up a new machine, you do it once, stores it in memory, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
So.
We've got somebody popping some bubbles or something behind us. All right, Nathaniel, tell us a little bit about what you do. It seems like you have some products that you sell for the tattoo artists.
Yeah, absolutely. So I own and I make all of the Vitalatry products.
Okay.
We have 2 different lines. Vitalatry makes products for the clients as aftercare. It's essentially for healing a fresh tattoo and also general upkeep of the tattoo throughout lifespan.
Okay.
Just general skincare, but it is medicinal and it is plant-based. Then we have the Roots line, which is product specific for the tattooer to use.
Okay.
3 products in the Roots line.
So I understand the aftercare part, but obviously I am not a tattoo artist, so you're going to have to explain what this does for the artist.
Absolutely. So we have 3 different products in the Roots line.
Okay.
We have a gel, which is a glide, and that is to replace petroleum-type products that have primarily been used, such as A&D and Vaseline, to tattoo with. The reason artists use those is for a couple of different reasons.
Okay.
One is to lubricate the skin. One is to also create barriers in certain areas so that ink doesn't stain certain colors that they've already put in.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a couple of different functions of using a product.
Yeah.
But primarily, artists have used petroleum products, as I said, like Vaseline, A&D. Certain companies in the industry have begun making natural products, but this product is a little bit different because we actually use different plants in the formula that have specific medicinal value for the skin, such as inflammation reduction, redness reduction, etc.
So does that help the tattoo to heal faster?
Well, it's kind of a situation where if you're not injecting into the skin petroleum ingredients that aren't meant to be in those layers of the skin, then you're going to by default get a little bit easier of a heal from a peeling standpoint. It's not having to expel those ingredients before it can really go through the healing.
Okay.
So that being said, a lot of the tattoo's healing does have to do with the tattoo artist himself, the client's skin type. There's a lot of factors.
Right.
But definitely using the best products that you can, most natural products, definitely going to help that process.
Okay. Cool. And so, do you have other products that the tattoo
so
artists
in the
use?
Roots line, we have 2 other products. We have a cleanse concentrate, which is essentially to be utilized in an artist's squeeze bottle that they'll dilute with water. And that's essentially what they use throughout the course of the tattoo to wipe ink away from the skin that they've already, kind of begun the process with and clean the skin during the tattoo.
Okay.
We also have a very unique product that is called the Prefix Serum. It is a plant-based fixative. And so a lot of artists, primarily artists use stencils when they tattoo. They'll do a drawing, make a stencil, apply it to the skin, and tattoo using that as a guideline.
Right.
A lot of other artists do freehand marker work, so they'll draw directly on the skin the design, and that helps a lot of times working with the body's natural contours and whatnot.
Okay.
Artists who primarily use marker and pen drawings on the skin, have a little bit of issue when working, having to keep that from wiping away, so they have to be real conscious of how they spread the skin, where they wipe, etc., so they're not wiping away their reference.
Right. Okay.
Well, this is a product that you apply to the skin prior to drawing on it, and then you draw over it, and essentially what it's doing, it's creating a waterproof film on the skin that the marker or the pen sets into, and then it will not wipe away while you're working.
Oh, very cool.
Completely natural, plant-based. Everything we do, there's no synthetic ingredients, no petroleum ingredients, completely natural and plant-based.
All right.
Very cool.
That's all very cool. Do you have any more questions, Kyle?
No.
No?
That was very cool.
Thank you for the education. I appreciate it. All right. Thanks. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed those interviews as much as we did. It was really fun for us. It was a new way for us to learn about quality. Well, not really learn about quality, but to discover how quality impacts every industry.
Agreed.
I think we talk about this on every episode, And we just kind of did it as a fun thing to try to go.
Yep.
But we didn't realize what we were going to learn. And that's the goal of this podcast, is to open everyone's eyes to how every industry needs quality procedures in place.
Agreed.
So before we wrap up, since this is a podcast regarding a tattoo convention, I am really looking forward to getting my next tattoo. It's a small one.
Yeah.
It's a little fish skeleton.
Uh-huh.
And we wanted to do this at the convention, but I didn't have the guts to ask anybody. I like to sit behind my microphone and talk. So if there is a quality tattoo artist out there, and now I know what to look for if I come to your shop, if there's a quality tattoo artist out there that would like to donate a tattoo to my ankle, we would love to record it and put it on our YouTube channel. Is that right, Kyle?
That's it. Absolutely.
Give you a little publicity, have a little fun. Kyle would love to see me in pain.
Oh, yeah.
So if there's a tattoo artist out there that would like to donate a tattoo in the Houston area and be a part of our podcast and our YouTube channel, we would love to interact with you.
100%.
Yep. So we're going to wrap up by saying our podcast is sponsored by...
No one yet.
Insert your name here. We're still looking. Please contact us. You can find us on LinkedIn. You can find our website, texasqualityassurance.com. Email one of us, call us. And even if not for sponsorship, just send us a message on LinkedIn. We like to talk to people. We've had a couple of people messaging us this week, and it's been fun to hear what you guys have to say about the podcast. We really appreciate getting to chat with others. So thanks for listening in.